Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate achieves the 7th place globally in life quality. The Sultanate's production of crude oil during last May reached more than 30 million barrels. And Oman Air achieves Excellence Award for Staff Service in the Middle East in 2015. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Giorgio Margvelashvili of Georgia in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on his country's independence anniversary. The Sultanate achieved the 7th place globally in the life quality as per International Electronic Database. A survey conducted by the independent British newspaper showed that the Sultanate ranked 7th through measuring several standards, including life quality, which is based on clean environment, security, safety and purchasing power among people. The indicator relies on the fact that if the environment is more polluted, thus the economy and safety are not enough to achieve quality of life. It gives safety the second big grade, stressing the significance of feeling secure more than prosperity. The monthly report issued by the Ministry of Oil and Gas stated that the Sultanate's production of crude oil and oil condensates during the month of May 2015 reached around 30.3 million barrels, up 1.53% compared to April of 2015, when the daily average is calculated. The total quantities of crude oil exported abroad in the month of May 2015 stood at 25.40 million barrels, up 3.73% compared to April 2015. The Asian markets acquired, as usual, the largest percentage of Omani crude oil export for the second consecutive month. China's import of Omani crude oil decreased by 4.99% compared with last month to settle at the level of 77.95%, but it is still on top of importing countries of Oman crude oil. Thailand and Japan imports of Omani crude oil continue decreasing by 0.95%. Taiwan scored the highest increased rate among the countries importing Omani crude oil in this month, with 3.28% to settle at 15.75% to the total quantities imports of Omani crude oil. Oman Air achieved Excellence Award for Staff Service in the Middle East in 2015. This came during the ceremony of Skytrax Global Awards in the French capital, Paris. The national carrier of the Sultanate was also listed among the top 10 globally in 2015 in 6 different categories in customer service. Oman Air attributed this success and outstanding achievements to its continuity in providing travel service as best international standards, pointing out that Skytrax Awards are renowned among international airlines. Earlier, the national carrier had won several travel awards, such as the Best Business Class in the Middle East 2015, the Best Economy Class in the Middle East 2015, and the Pioneer Award for Economy Class in 2015, and the Best Luxurious Airline Award in the Middle East. National Committee for Combating Human Trafficking stressed the importance of activating the role of civil society establishments in raising awareness about the dangers of human trafficking in society and ways to combat it through organizing programs and activities related to this issue in cooperation with concerned authorities. During the meeting, which was held today, the committee approved its annual report about human rights in the Sultanate in order to send it to the Council of Ministers. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud al-Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Chairman of the National Committee for Combating Human Trafficking. Gulf Cooperation Council countries approved the limit of international roaming service prices. Among them, Telecommunication Regulatory Authority announced that beneficiaries of telecommunication services in the Sultanate and roaming service users in the GCC countries will be able soon to enjoy low roaming prices among these countries for voice call, SMS and mobile data services. which will be applied on the 1st of April 2016. The discounts in roaming prices will be applied among operators on the levels of wholesale and retail prices for the end users gradually during a period that lasts for 3 years for voice, call and SMS services and for 5 years to mobile data services. Still to come in our news bulletin. Due to droughts, California's Yosemite National Park's landscape is slowly changing. Welcome back. Al-Hazm exercise continues its activities at the headquarters of the College of Command and Staff. Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith Al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, attended part of the exercise, which is being executed by the personnel of the 28th Corps. It will continue until 25th of June. The cadets gave a briefing about the exercise and ways to benefit from the latest IT technologies as to keep pace with joint military operation requirements. In order to provide internet services and give more hours to access it, Oman Broadband Company signed a memorandum of understanding with Salala Wastewater Services Company to lay fiber optic cables. It aims to provide infrastructure for broadband services for all houses, establishments, government and private establishments. The company will start the work in the project during the last half of the year and finish it by the mid of next year. The nights of the holy month of Ramadan represent a golden opportunity for the Omani youth to practice many sports activities. After performing Al-Tarawih prayers, they head to the sports center, play billiards, table tennis, shuttle and others. These types of sports are very important to stimulate the physical and mental capabilities. California's historic drought has national park officials worried that one of the state's treasured nature reserves could face disastrous consequences as water supplies dwindle. More details in the following report.
Sky-high granite peaks and ancient sequoia groves, trademarks of California's Yosemite National Park. The spectacular landscape has made it one of the most visited nature reserves in the country. But 4 years into a historic drought, that landscape is slowly changing. Scott Gettyman has been a ranger here for nearly 20 years. He says the waterfalls may have shown signs of life because of late snow, but water levels across the valley are dangerously low.
This is the true indicator for me. Looking down at this gauge and seeing that the river level here in the Merced River is just over 3 feet, and here we are, it's not even summer yet, and we're looking at warmer temperatures, a record low snowpack, just tells me how much of a drought we're really in.
And the drought isn't just affecting nature. Tourism is also taking a hit. These visitors are going on one of the last rafting trips of the season, with outings ending a month earlier than usual.
When the water gets down to about 1.5 feet, that's when the water's just not enough flow, the algae really starts to grow in the river, and the rocks are starting to protrude out, and you got to get out and kind of pull the raft a couple times. So we stop at about 1.5 feet.
Dry rivers, scorching heat, and now a higher risk of wildfires. These trees were burnt during the last major fire in 2013, and with hot and arid conditions today, that could happen once again, making campers like Terry more mindful of their habits.
Everybody is very conservative. If we have leftover water bottles, we're not throwing it away, we're using it for coffee in the morning. So there's just little things that you can do to conserve.
Little things that almost everyone is happy to do, as signs of the drought are more visible than ever.
For example, they have a place called the Mirror Lake. They say that before it was a whole lake, and we went to see it, and we only see partial of the lake. The other parts are dry.
Yosemite is bracing for yet another parched summer, but with nearly 4 million people from around the world visiting every year, the park still remains a sight to be seen.
Now for the general weather forecast, partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies prevail over the coastal areas and the nearby mountains of the Governorate of Dhofar, with chances of intermittent drizzles. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear to partly cloudy skies, with chances of scattered rainfalls towards the evening over the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate along the coast of the Sea of Oman, while it will be northwesterly light to moderate, occasionally active along the rest of the Sultanate, and seas along the coast of the Arabian Sea will be rough with a maximum wave height of 5 meters, and rest of the coast it will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we introduce Bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate achieved the 7th place globally in life quality. The Sultanate's production of crude oil during last May reached more than 30 million barrels. Oman Air achieves Excellence Award for Staff Service in the Middle East in 2015. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.